Hi, it's Marshmallow. I'm back with a new video. I am going to do my very first story time video. Ooh, I've been wanting to do one for a while, and I have a couple different ones, but today's story time. Just wanted to say before I start my story time video that I know I'm not one that's like,
I got kicked out of VidCon. I'm a celebrity.
No. But I can tell you my stories are real. I'm not saying some YouTubers' story times aren't real, but I'm saying mine are. And I'm also just a regular girl. I'm no famous person, you know, so maybe my stories will be relatable. Okay, you can go back to my video right now. It's gonna be about online dating and blind dates. I'm not a fan, and you'll find out why. So I have 4 stories to tell you about. 2 of them are online dating, 2 of them are blind dates. They're nuts. Let's just jump into this. So story number 1 is an online dating experience. I was 18 years old and I was dating someone, but he was cheating on me. So I went on My Yearbook and Plenty of Fish. And on Plenty of Fish, this guy named, he messaged me. I thought he was really cute. He was really nice. He said he was from my town. So I said, all right, let's hang out sometime. I wanted to meet somewhere public just in case I wasn't into it. And I said, I have to work. I was working and it was about the end of my shift. And one of my coworkers at the time came back and was like, Marcy, there is this really cute guy asking for you. And I said, oh, who? And so she pointed up front and there he was. And he literally looked like M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold. He was wearing a black t-shirt, camo shorts, a black or a camo hat or something like that. He had his lip pierced, big old tunnels in his ears, and I was like, hey, I'm into it. I went with him and we were talking. He was so nice. He smelled really good, and which is a good sign because some of these stories aren't that promising. But we were gonna just walk around. He said he'd walk me home. Well, then we didn't realize he lived 2 apartments down from me. So that was crazy. So I agreed to go watch movies with him because I'm like, I'm right there if I need to get out. I went up to his apartment and I met his roommates, and they were a little weird, but they were nice and we were having a good time. And then he started asking me about smoking. And at the time I smoked a lot of pot and I did mess around with pills. So I was like, yeah, I smoke pot. So he was like, do you want to smoke a blunt? And I said, sure. And he was like, do you do anything else? And I said, not really, because I wasn't being like, yeah, I wasn't gonna say that. He was like, oh yeah, me either. I don't either. But last night I did shoot up heroin for the first time, and I'm like, what? I didn't like it though. I didn't like it. And I was like, okay. So then we're watching a movie, and he tries. He tried. Denied. He was like, oh, whatever. He literally can't even believe it. I still can't believe it. He freaking pulled out a spoon, a syringe, and a bag of heroin and started cooking it up. And I was like, he's like, oh, do you mind? And I was like, yes, I mind. What are you doing? I thought you just tried it last night and you didn't like it. And he was like, well, kinda. I was so mad. And then he was like, well, you want to have sex with me? So you shoot up heroin because a girl you just met 30 minutes ago won't have sex with you. What? No. You're a junkie. I yelled at him. I'm like, you're nothing but a loser. Don't ever talk to me again. I'm leaving. He's like, no, don't leave. As he's nodding out. Oh my God, so annoying. He messages me the next day or 2 days later. I'm really sorry and blah, blah, blah. I'm not like that. I'm like, no, you need to go get some help because I'm not hanging out with you until you do because I'm not into that, blah, blah, blah. Never heard again. Last I knew, he moved away. Deuces. That was bad online dating experience. My second story is about a blind date. My mom came home and she said, oh my gosh, there's this really nice guy I met. He's around your age, but he's so nice and he wants to meet you. And I said, okay, what's his name? Is he cute? She said his name was, and she's like, he's very cute and he's just really, really nice. And I was like, okay. And like I said, I was dating someone, but he lived 3 hours away and he was cheating on me the whole time. And my mom was trying to get me away from that. So she gave him my number. He texted me. He asked me if I wanted to go for a walk and then go get something to eat. I said, sure. So we met halfway. First glance, wasn't cute. But I was like, okay, kind of stunk. We worked hard. So we go for a walk and I was like, where did you want to eat? And he's like, oh, I don't have any money. Do you? No, I don't. You asked me on a date. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, well, I don't have any money, so do you just want to go to my apartment? no, I don't want to go to your apartment. What? We just walked around and I was like, where do you live? Because I wanted to get going. I'm like, this is annoying. He was carrying around some book bag. I'm like, is he gonna like murder me or what's going on? I was so nervous. And he said he lived at the Riddle House. Now, if you're not from Bradford, let me tell you something about the Riddle House. The Riddle House is scary. And I'm not even exaggerating it. It's scary. Let's see. A place for people that are homeless. They can rent a room for like $13 a week or something like that. You get like cable and a bed, but you have to share a bathroom. There's a bar downstairs, or not restaurant, but like good food downstairs. But let me tell you some stories about the Riddle House. First time I ever went up there, I was 17 years old and we went to buy pot. One of the apartments, and there were two doors to the right and left of us. Buying the pot, weren't allowed in the guy's apartment, which was weird. One door was slightly cracked, the other one was wide open. One door had a guy basically choke slamming his girlfriend, so that was great, domestic abuse. Love that. And then the other apartment had a guy shooting up. Why aren't you closing your doors? I don't want to see that. Both of them are illegal. What are you doing? And you, what? Not very smart up there. There was a crackhead that beat another crackhead over the head with a hammer because of crack. Oh yeah, and there was a murder there. Two guys killed a pregnant woman. They slit her throat, stabbed her multiple times, cut her stomach open, and threw her in a bathtub. And took pictures of it and sent it to the pregnant woman's sister. So that's what the Riddle House is, and that's why I refuse to go there. So when he said Riddle House, I'm like, I'm good. And he's like, well, I'm in a bad spot. I'm like, okay, I get that, but I'm good. I don't want to go up there. He was like, okay, well, we can just continue walking and I'll walk you home, but I just want to drop off my book bag real quick. I said, okay, but I'll stand in the street. He said, no, you can just stand in the hallway. And I said, okay. I didn't feel comfortable in the hallway, so he's like, well, just come in for a second and then I'll drop off my bag and we can go. So I go in his apartment. He closes the door and locks it behind him. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we can just hang out here for a little bit. No, that's not what I want to do. No. I was like, well, I want to get going. He's like, oh, we just started hanging out. I really like you, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So he's like, do you want to watch TV? And I said, sure. He had no other place to sit except for his bed. So I sat on the very edge of his bed. He's like, well, you can lay. I'll sit up. And I was like, no, I'm good. He tried kissing me. Wasn't about it. He didn't brush his teeth. You can tell. Ew. So I pulled away and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He started talking about how I needed to go back to Milwaukee or wherever the hell he's from to meet his family, how he wanted kids, and how we wanted to get married soon. And I'm like, boy, I just met you like 37 seconds ago. What are you talking about? No, that ain't happening. So then he tries, and I, boom, boom, no way. He apologized a bunch of times and I'm like, I'm going home. This is ridiculous. Please don't go. Please don't leave me. Really? So I finally, I was like, I'm leaving. Like, I don't care. I will walk home alone. He said he was gonna walk me home. I said no because I didn't want him to know where I lived. I leave. The very next day, he asked me if I would go pick up his laundry and do it at my apartment. What? I am not your mama. I'm not your babysitter. I'm not your girlfriend and I'm not your wifey. Why, after I was like, no, don't kiss me, no, I don't want to have sex with you, I'm getting the fuck out of your apartment, why would you think I would do your freaking laundry for you? Weirdo. I told my mom, I'm like, you are never setting me up ever again. He's a weirdo. No, no, and no. She said, oh, I didn't know. No, he's a weirdo. And I told her everything. She was like, oh, don't go back with him. No, no, no. So like a week goes by. I go camping with a bunch of my friends. The 6 of us. The kid kept calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me. Finally, my friend Molly, her boyfriend at the time, and 2 of his friends started just bullshitting him, and it was great. They just start pranking him. This kid was like, I'm gonna call the cops on you. And I'm like, ooh, I'm scared. Like, you don't know where I'm at. You're gonna call the cops on me? And he's like, yeah, because it's threatening. You're a conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Needless to say, I never heard from him again. Adios. Last I knew, he had like a daughter and some girlfriend. I don't know where he's at. No idea. Good riddance. So story number 3 is an online dating story again, and this one is weird. My yearbook and Plenty of Fish. Well, this kid, I think his name was, he hits me up. He's really nice. We start talking, whatever. He lived like 30 minutes away or something like that. He was like, well, I'll come to Bradford. And I said, okay. It was nice that he took the initiative to come here, not expecting me to go there. So he comes to town and he's like, do you want to go get something to eat? I said, sure. I meet up with him and we go for a walk. And I'm not even kidding you. First glance, he looks just like my ex. Spitting image of him. They were the same height, same eye color, same long eyelashes, same nose, almost same build. The only difference is they had the same hair color, but the only difference is his hair was longer and curlier. What? It was so weird. We talked, we're walking, whatever. It was a good time. He was really nice. He was like, do you want to go to Subway? I said, sure. He bought it, like, can't believe it. He bought my food for me. My friend drove by and was like, are you with? And I said, no, this is not him, but he looks just like him, doesn't he? It's so weird. And then we ran into my mom. My mom met him. She thought he was nice, but looked just like my ex. It was like 90 degrees out, and he was like, well, I better get going. And I'm like, oh, no, you don't have to. Like, we can keep hanging out. So we can just go back to my apartment. My mom won't be there. This is where things got weird. I thought this kid was so nice. I was like, oh, I really like him. No. All of a sudden, the whole thing got to me. I'm like, he looks too much like my ex. But he started talking about dating, which was fine. But then he started talking about sex, marriage, moving in together. And he didn't have a car. He didn't have a job. He did not have a way back. He decided to tell me hours later that he supposedly did not have a way back. Like, wait, what? Uh-huh. Anytime we'd go outside, he would sit there. He would kneel, get on his knees, and just stare and pout into my soul. Like, what are you doing? It's getting late out, and I was like, okay, so are you leaving? Like, what's going on? I don't have a way back. What do you mean you don't have a way back? Like, you're being for real? You don't have a way back? He tried kissing me and having sex with me, and I wasn't about it because I'm like, you're trying something here and you have bad intentions and I don't like it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to sleep. So I slept for like an hour. I wake up and feeling uncomfortable, and I turn over. Dude is sitting right there watching me while I sleep. And I got so scared. I thought he was gonna murder me. I really did. I was so freaked out. And I was like, what are you doing? And he, nothing. Okay. So what do you feel about me? I don't know. I'm trying to sleep. What are you doing? He got mad, walked out. I fall back asleep. I wake up and my door, the screen door was the only thing open. So I'm like, he didn't come back in. So I walked outside and he's just, first he was like on his phone and he looked up at me and then he pouted. What's wrong? Nothing. He wouldn't care. What's your deal? He had to go. And I said, okay, bye. He was like, no, a friend of mine. He told me the girl's name. He told me full name, where she was from. And he said that she killed herself. So he had to go. And I'm like, what? Oh my God, are you all right? He's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. He left. All of a sudden had a ride. So right there, I was like, that's weird. So a few days go by. I ask him how he's doing. He said, I'm okay. I miss you. And I was like, okay, but how are you doing? And he's like, what do you mean? Had no idea what I meant. Look up the girl's name. Has to be an obituary, right? There wasn't. I think he lied. Because there wasn't a Facebook of that girl, and there was no obituary, and there was nothing on Facebook saying of this girl at all. Bullshit way out of it because I wouldn't have sex with him, and that's wrong. That is wrong. You don't make up about someone dying. That's bad karma, especially about suicide. Like, that's messed up. I ended up running back into him like a couple years later, and this is when Chris and I were together, and he was like, Marcy, do you remember me? And I was like, yeah, I remember you. And I'm like, how are you? And he's like, I'm good. Can I get your number? And I said, no, I have a boyfriend. He's like, oh, I knew it. Walked away. I've never seen him or heard from him since. Weird. The last story is another blind date story. My mom, jeez, mom. She said she had this customer that she really thought was nice. He was older. She gave me his name. I added him on Facebook. He messaged me right away. I should have known it was a red flag, but automatically started making, like, after 3 messages back and forth, he started talking about how he wanted to take me to the Blue Heron next year. It's like some music festival around here. And I'm like, next summer? I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. What are you talking about next summer? Like, what? He asked if I wanted to hang out. He picked me up, hugged me. His chest was hard as a rock. There was no comfortness in hugging him. It was so weird. What was his name? So we go to his house. Didn't want to, but I went there. He had this huge house, really nice garden, whatever. He had thank God he had a dog. Thank God for that dog. He showed me his bike collection. He had like a 12-year-old daughter. I don't know, kind of awkward. Well, then he asked if I smoked. At the time I did. So we smoked. Thank God for that dog, for real. But instantly, I knew it was laced with something because I started tweaking. We were watching TV and he's trying to get closer to me, and I'm just like starting to spaz out. Start having a stomach ache. I'm like, I'm sweating. I'm like, I need to get going. I can't do this. And he's like, no, stay. No, I can't. Like, I cannot kiss you right now. I'm not into you. You're so weird. He was another one that just, but he had that crazy smile, like, not even playing, dude. Okay, I need to go. So he was like, do you want a ride? I said, no. No, I'll give you a ride. I said, okay. He's like, okay, let me do this real quick. And I'm like, I'm leaving. And he's like, okay, I'll give you a ride home right now. Like, he was trying to stall me to leave. Drove me home, tried to kiss me again, and I wouldn't do it. I knew he put something in that because I was a big pot smoker back then, and I never had that kind of interaction with pot unless it was laced with something. He said it was his special stuff. He messaged me on Facebook after that. He's like, I really, really like you. You're so gorgeous. And I was like, thanks. He's like, but are you okay? I said, no, I'm not okay. And then I just said, like, I just came to the realization I'm not over my ex. And I didn't hear from him since. I just saw him not that long ago, like a couple months ago. And what did he do? Hey, Marcy. Conclusion of all of this. 1, don't do online dating. 2, don't let your mom set you up on blind dates. She might think they're nice, but they're weird. They're actually really weird. Ever again. I was like, Mom, you were never setting me up ever again. Thank God I'm married now, because no. I'm so glad I'm out of that dating world because, oh my God, the dating scene is not my style. And that was my very first story time. I hope you enjoyed it. My misery. So if you'd like to see more story times, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. I have 2 more story times. A catfish story time and about stalker. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos. It would mean the whole world to me. Follow me on social media. All my usernames and links are down below in the description. I follow back, and I'm out like a boner in sweatpants, and I will see you biatches on the flip side.